Hello everybody. Today we're going to make a digital painted sphere. And we're going to begin by creating a value scale. Let's go open up a new document, File New. Let's call it Your Last Name - Sphere. Let's make the width 10 inches, the height 8 inches, the DPI 150, background white, and click Create. Next, let's add a new layer. Go down to the bottom of your layers palette and click on that little piece of paper for Make New Layer. And let's rename this layer. Double click on the letters Layer 1 and let's rename it Value Scale. I'm going to make a value scale that goes from light tints to pure hue to shades over here on the left-hand side of my document. I'm going to do that by using a brush, a paintbrush. So let's choose the brush tool. Let's drop down the brush menu, second to the left. And I'm going to choose a hard mechanical brush. In Photoshop, it would be a hard round. And I'm going to decrease the size a little bit and just kind of hover to see about that circle size is good. And before that, I needed to choose the brush, okay, and increase the size. There we go. Next, let's open up your color picker. Remember, the top square is the foreground color. The bottom square is the background. We're going to work with the foreground color. To click that to bring up your color picker. All right, choose a color that you'd like to make for your sphere. In the upper right-hand corner is the pure color. And as we move down, we go to the shades, the color plus black. As we move to the left, we go to the tints, the color plus white. We're going to make a value scale by starting out with the pure hue. So choose that color in the upper right-hand corner, click OK, and just click to stamp your brush. That'll be the pure hue right there in the middle. Next, I'm going to grab some tints and move them up. All right, so back to the color picker, and I'm going to move to the left. I'm going to choose about 3 or so, maybe 4 tints. So I'm going to move a little bit to the left and choose a new value. So you can see here's the pure hue, my previous value, and here's my tint. So I can compare and say, is that a good enough transition, or did it jump way too fast? All right, I'm just going to click that right above. Bring back up the color picker. Let's move to the left again. All right, see the 2 values. All right, let's keep going to the left. Get another tint. And we want to kind of move to white. So almost white. All right, next I am going to go back to my pure hue. I'm going to get the eyedropper tool and I'm going to sample this pure hue again. I'm just going to click it, and now that pure hue is right there. I'll bring back up the color picker. You can see the pure hue is already chosen. Now it's time to get some shades. I'm going to move down to get the shades. So I'm going to jump down a little bit and compare the values. Okay, it's a little darker. Go back to my brush tool and stamp. Bring back up the color picker. We want to move towards black. We want a nice range of shades. Back to the color picker. Get another darker value. And one more time, I'm going to get almost black. All right, there is my value scale. Let's go ahead and label your value scale. We're going to use the type tool. We're going to click on the big T. When you click on the type tool, you're going to see that you have a sub-menu here for the fonts and the size, the color, and then do you want it left justify, center, right justify. So you can drop this down to choose a font. All right, I'm just going to choose one of these. Okay, 24 pixels. I'm going to bring that down to more like, I'm just going to type in 14, maybe 16. All right, and here's where you change the color of your text. So right now I'm just going to keep mine black. And okay, right now I'm on left justify. All right, we're going to label these. So I'm just going to click right here to set a cursor, and I'm going to type tints. Okay, and that's really, really small. So I am going to go back to the type tool, and I'm going to highlight that and increase the size. Looks like 62 is a whole lot better. I can get my move tool now, and I can move them around. Notice when you use the type tool, it creates a brand new layer, a type layer. And the thumbnail is going to have a big T on it telling you that this is text, and it's going to tell you what you typed on that layer right there. So get your move tool and kind of move it around. That also gets you out of the type tool and tells the type tool you're done with that layer. Now back to the type tool, and I'm going to label the pure hue right here. So I'm going to click to set the cursor and type pure hue. Get the move tool, and you can move it a little bit. One more time, back to the type tool, click to set the cursor, and type shades. Get the move tool. Okay, that's the end of part 1, our value scale. Go to part 2 to start learning how to paint the 3D sphere.